Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We're getting into, firstly, Married at First Sight UK, and this is the reunion special. So I think it's been over a year or so now since they've all met up and everybody's situations has changed. So we get to see who stayed together, who attended, and what drama popped off, because you know there's going to be some type of drama with these people. I know all the cast didn't attend because they probably got invites but refused to attend in that sense because there was no need for them to. So we know we have Adrienne attending, we have Peggy and Georges attending together, so they're still together. Laura attended by herself. Paula and Tasha are still married, and we have Shona. And you know what got my go is they kept on showing Shona, like saying she's come back in because situations had changed for her and she'd gone in with Brad and but she'd ended up meeting someone else. My girl, we all knew it was Matt. I don't know why they were playing hide and seek with Matt at the end of the day, because the best thing of it is I don't even think, was Shona in that season? Yes, Shona was in that season, but she left, she got kicked off with Brad basically, and then Matt and Adrienne came in. But we all knew it was Matt. We all knew Matt and Shona were together because they came out with it before the fucking this special whole reunion. So to hide him was a bit stupid because we already knew. So we know Matt and Shona's there, and Erica and Jordan. To be quite frank, I am still shocked that Erica and Jordan are still together. Like, absolutely shocked that them two are still together. It's like them two are just literally holding on by a peg because they're toxic as hell. Like, honestly toxic as hell. And then you get to see more of their toxicity through this bloody program, and I'm like, I don't understand why them two are still together, because Jordan is fucking rude. Jordan is absolutely rude to everybody around him and absolutely rude to his own wife. And it comes out that they actually lived with Laura for a bit, and Laura actually see the mechanics of their relationship. And as she was telling, I can't remember who it was that she was telling, I can't remember who it was that she was telling, but she was telling them, I think it might have been Jay, that their relationship was absolutely disgusting. Like, they argued like cat and dog all the time, like literally all the time. It was completely toxic. So she said for them to be coming here acting like they're the perfect couple and have a united front is an absolute joke. Then we've also got Jay and Ella who come together. Jay is still slightly hung up on Luke, and you can tell that Ella as well is still very much hung up on JJ. She says her and JJ talk all the time basically, and they are literally just friends, and she's glad that she's got him in her life. But I think it's time for them to start moving on from these people. Me myself, I don't know how Jay can still like even contend being friends with that man, or even contend defending Luke at the end of the day, when Luke was an absolute dickhead, and he was saying exactly what it was that Jordan had put out to her when within the season itself, when he turned around and he said, believing that Jay's basically saying that Jay is a pushover, and saying it in no uncertain terms that if you could go out and rob a bank and you wouldn't get caught, you'd do it. So basically as well, I forgot who it was he was telling, he said to them that, you know, if he could go and get a girl's number tomorrow, she wouldn't be bothered in that sense. So he kind of thinks that Jay was might be a little bit of a pushover in that sense. But Jay still wants to defend him against Jordan, even though Jordan did tell the truth in what Luke did say. But hey ho, Jay is blinded by those lights, those Luke lights at the end of the day. There's no telling this girl anything bad about this man, because she won't have none of it. So in comes Peggy and Georges looking good. At last, they've had the old fandango. They've got to that part, and he's very, very happy. Paul nearly knocked the man's drink onto his lap by slapping his chest so hard, by saying, well done, well done. But I am, from everything that went on within their relationship to coming to their marriage, I am actually glad that they managed to make it work, because Georges was a quite misunderstood person. Yes, he was a bit of a lad's lad, but he was a misunderstood person, so I'm glad that it's working out between them, to be fair. And then in comes the lovely Thomas. He is gorgeous though. Like, Thomas is still gorgeous. Him and Roz have remained friends. Me myself, I was kind of hoping that you know, further on down the line they might make a go of it, they might get together, but that's not going to be the case, because I think that ship has definitely sailed, especially for Roz, but not so much for Thomas. I think Thomas is very much still hung up on Roz, and you see that play out through this meal, especially when he walks in and, you know, he's flexing and everything like that, and he's looking kind of buff, and you see Roz looking at him, and I kind of get the impression that Thomas did all of that for Roz, to try and say, hey, look at me, I've changed into the type of person that you may want. He weren't as scrawny as he was before. But yeah, as time went on throughout that meal, Thomas became more and more pissed off that Roz wasn't more attentive to him as he is to her, in that sense, but not realizing that he's actually putting his feelings, how he's feeling deeply, because he still wants her, onto her, and making her feel like shit because he felt like shit. So in comes Shona and Matt, and they do look good together. I ain't gonna lie, they do look good together, and they are really getting on with each other. I don't understand why Adrienne came, knowing full well that they would probably be there in that sense. So I don't know what the issue was there, because at the end of the day, it seemed as though Adrienne and Brad were very much aware that Shona and Matt were together after that show. Like, during the very last reunion, Shona got to meet Matt then, and then that's when they kind of started speaking to each other, and things moved on from there. So I don't understand why Adrienne still carried this level of animosity towards Matt, because what happened at the end of the day. What happened. You both went into it with your eyes wide open. You hit a roadblock. You couldn't get over that roadblock. You actually then tried to stay together after that roadblock, knowing full well, probably in their hearts of hearts, that it would not work between them, but they tried it. It didn't work, so Matt found somebody else, which happened to be Shona, who was also on that season, but had left before Matt and Adrienne came in. So for her to keep holding on to this bullshit is absolutely stupid at the end of the day, because you might as well let bygones be good bygones. What's happened has happened, and treat Matt accordingly at the end of the day, because there was no need for her to be so disrespectful to this man. And you see Erica and Jordan make an entrance because Jay and Ella are already there. You see Jay's face like it's literally set already, because Jordan's already got it in his head that people are going to come for him because they don't like him because of what happened between him and Luke. They still don't listen to each other at all. Erica was the main mouthpiece at this moment in time before they went to the dinner itself. You know, when they do their little blurbs, they do their little, what's it called? They do their little VC. That's it. They do their little VC. And yeah, Erica was the total mouthpiece in that. Jordan didn't get a word in edgewise. The hug between Jay and Jordan was hella awkward because Jay didn't want to hug him. Now, me, myself, if I've got that much animosity against someone, yeah, and my spirit is not taken to them, they ain't even going to get a look from me. They ain't going to get a hello from me. They ain't going to get a hug from me. So for Jay to then still go and hug this man, knowing full well that she really well and truly couldn't stand Jordan because of the situation that occurred between him and Luke, yeah, is stupid. Why would you go hug him? Why would you honestly go hug him? Because you could tell that Jay was completely uncomfortable, like completely uncomfortable him even approaching her. But hey ho, it's TV, isn't it? It's very much TV. Erica's there talking in regards to her marriage with Jordan and saying that they do bicker but thinks it's healthy. And you've got Jordan as well saying how great it is between him and Erica, when we know that's a completely different story altogether, and especially in terms of looking at how they interact with each other, especially in how they interacted with each other through this dinner at the end of the day, and then the inside knowledge that Laura has as their relationship. So basically they're both bullshitting each other in regards to how they see their relationship being. They're both in fucking Delulu land, like seriously in fucking Delulu land. We all know couples bicker, but my god, them two don't fucking bicker. They argue, like seriously argue, and don't listen to each other and like to score points with each other. And at the end of the day, one of them bullets is gonna is gonna hit its mark, and something serious is going to happen between the both of them. So if I was them, I would either start, if they really want to stay together, get some fucking couples counselling. Get some couples counselling to learn how to literally talk and listen to each other, because they don't do that in the slightest. Because Jordan always feels slighted when Erica tries to tell him something, and this was seen in this episode where Jay was trying to talk because they'd brought out the experts had given them this book in order to look back through past memories. So there were different photographs in there at different times with the quotes that people had said at the end of the day. So it was a picture of Luke and him saying, well, if you would rob a bank and get away with it, wouldn't you do it, sort of thing. So that reared its ugly head for Jay again. So literally, as Jay was talking, Jordan again jumped in straight away, not listening to nobody. So all Erica did was turn to him and say, just be quiet a minute, let her have her say, listen to what it is that she's saying. Jordan took that to mean that Erica was not backing him, Erica was not by his side. And I'm like, my guy, you for real? I was like, are you for real right now? Are you listening to yourself right now? Well, obviously he isn't listening to himself right now, because his mouth was just running. He would not listen to nobody. And that's when, from that point, is when Jordan started to get arsey, because of the fact that Erica literally just turned to him and said, be quiet for a minute. Let her speak and listen to what it is that she's saying, because Jordan's problem is he don't listen. All he does is listen to respond. He reacts straight away. As soon as something negative is said, if he feels that it's very negative and proper aimed at him, that's when he'll go, rather than listening in order to respond correctly. He's got serious issues that he needs to work through. I think, like, serious issues he needs to work through. During this evening, you see Thomas getting more and more irate with Roz, in the fact that he feels that Roz is being distant with him. Roz is not talking to him. Roz is not looking at him, even when they're sitting next to each other at the table. She's very interactive and has ready smiles for everybody else, but didn't have none for Thomas. That was Thomas's insecurities jumping right out at him. He needed validation from Roz at that point. And I just thought, at the end of the day, why don't you take a step and actually be blunt with her and tell her how it is? Because at the end of the day, Roz is there saying to people that, you know, she's having respect for Thomas. She hasn't necessarily called him a lot or done a lot of other things, because she wants Thomas to be able to navigate this friendship and put out the boundaries of what this friendship between them will be like. But if she knew Thomas, like she says she knows Thomas, she would know that that's no good to this man, especially when he still has feelings for you. At the end of the day, you both can't leave it just to Thomas. It's both of them going to have to navigate this newness of this friendship and how it's going to work for them both. So they both have ground rules in terms of what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. It's no good you leaving it to the other person at the end of the day, because that's not a friendship. That's just one-sidedness. That's just one-sidedness, and it makes me think that Roz don't really want to be friends with Thomas. She's just accepting the status quo at the moment because she believes that she's really hurt him throughout this process and doesn't want to fuck him over any more than she already has done. They all go into this meal again. Erica's pissed, Jordan's pissed. Neither one of them are talking to each other at the table. I think a comment is made, and Erica ends up getting up from the table basically and walking off, and Jordan says, oh, here we go. And I'm just like, why are them two together again? Like, seriously, why are them two together? Like, they really need to seriously think about how far their relationship goes, because they are really bad for each other, like really bad for each other. So Laura then turns around to Jordan and says to Jordan that this is par for the course between them two, because she's seen a lot when them two had lived with her. Of course, Jordan jumped straight down her throat and he called them pure, genuine emotions. And I'm like, no, they're not pure, genuine emotions, my love. It's literally pure and genuine anger towards somebody that you're supposed to love and want to build a fucking life with. I swear to God, if them two have children, I would feel sorry for those children, because I would have to listen and bear witness to the actual dysfunction of their freaking parents at that stage. Jordan is an absolute child, and Erica likes to throw her dummy out the pram way too much. But then with this one, I can't blame Erica for getting mad at Jordan, because Jordan is just acting like a right dickhead, like a right proper dickhead. So George turns around and asks people to remember what they what their best moments were in regards to the experiment. So Matt was complimentary to Adrian, and I was like, well, you know what, it's time to squash the beef. So he was thanking her in regards to meeting her throughout this experience and having that experience with her. But his amazing moment, of course, was meeting Shauna. We all knew that was going to come up at that point. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up getting engaged and getting married at some point. Adrian kind of looked a little bit sad or a little bit envious. I couldn't tell, because her face was just doing RBFing straight across the board. I don't understand why she just can't be happy for the man. At the end of the day, it didn't work out between these two. Be happy for the guy that he found someone that it could work out with. Roz said at first, leaving, and then she went, no, joke. And then she says, the wedding, it was awkward, but we did it. And I thought, my girl, there was so many memories that you could have picked from. Like, so many memories besides that awkward wedding. Thomas didn't look impressed by that at all. Not at all, because there was so much she could have picked from. Erica and Jordan, and basically Erica says she's not doing the exercise because she doesn't want to get her head bitten off by Jordan. And of course Jordan does the little smirk that he always fucking does. That's begging to be slapped off his face. But hey ho, let's continue. And then Ella talked about her 5 time was basically meeting JJ. And meeting her incredible friends, who she calls the Spice Girls. So that's Tasha, that's herself, that's Jay, and Roz, basically. Tasha talked about like her favourite experience being the final vows with Paul, and that's when it hit her. She said, when she turned around, she said, this is the guy I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And Paul said, I knew it. And Paul said, I knew right then and there that you was in love with me. After that fine display of love between Paul and Tasha, that's when Thomas decides to go in on Roz and basically asks her, is there a reason why she's ignoring him all night? And yeah, he went in. He went in because Thomas said that he felt like there was supposed to be a team when they went in. And basically Roz not understanding of why he's coming at her. And to be fair, the way it was edited, it did kind of look like Roz was ignoring that man all night. Like, literally didn't even say hello to him when he walked in. Gave him, like, you know, an acknowledgement that she saw him there, but didn't necessarily go over, give him a hug, say how you doing, anything like that. And then when they sat at the table with each other, she had ready smiles, as I said, with everybody else, but none. She was looking straight past Thomas each time she was looking at someone, and he was starting to feel more ignored as the night went on. So he literally brought it out to her. And then he gets up from the table and walks off and leaves Roz absolutely devastated. And then that's when Jay's like, or I think it was Ella, like, Spice Girls Assemble sort of thing. And I was thinking, what are you, the fucking Avengers or something? But hey ho, they went over there and tried to have that chat with her and basically said to her, at the end of the day, Thomas is still in that vulnerable place where he's got too many feelings for you and he doesn't know how to deal with those feelings, and this is how it's coming out. But Rosa said, I don't know what more I can do to try and keep this going, especially in terms of a friendship, because she's trying to be respectful for him, but he's not taking it that way. So it was kind of like, well, you got to decide whether you do want a friendship with this man or you don't at the end of the day, because these are feelings that Thomas is literally going to have to keep working through, and probably Roz will have to try and take a step back and allow Thomas to work through those feelings. So then as that's going on, Erica and fucking Jordan are having another fucking argument, for God's sake, and Jordan's responses are absolutely disgusting. And Laura, I think it was then Jordan who walks off from the table and starts spouting off, and Laura basically says to Erica, like, you need to go and find another man because Jordan is not worth it. And it's true. It's absolutely true. He's not worth it. So basically, Jordan sits there blaming Adrienne for how he's popping off now because Adrienne turned around and made a comment to him in regards to what he said to Erica and how he said it to Erica, which was right. She was sticking up for her friend at the end of the day. Jordan didn't like that because at the end of the day, I don't think Jordan likes Erica to be with any friends. Like, seriously, I think he wants Erica to be stuck to him like a motherfucking barnacle and be about him all the time. So when he decides to pop off, he thinks Erica should have a bone in his fight all the fucking time, and he doesn't want to deal with it by himself. He wants to start it, but then don't want to deal with it. He don't want to finish it afterwards. But yet he wants Erica to keep defending him each time he behaves like a motherfucking arse, and it can't happen that way. Like, seriously, can't happen that way. So then Thomas comes back to the table, apologises to Roz, and they get back on an even keel. And then in comes the honesty box at the end of the day. So I think for Ella, it says, if you were to be matched again with anyone around the table, who would it be? Ella did say Georgie's. Roz's was, knowing what you know now, would you have taken part? And Thomas says, I don't think I would be as happy as I am now without taking part. He thought he was his best self now, and he wasn't before, and that's on reflection basically. But he's still got a way to go because he's got to reflect on what type of friendship he's going to have with Roz. That's what Thomas has to do. Jay basically said, she says that, how has the experience changed you? She said she's talked about hating herself, but the experiment taught her to bring her walls down and helped with her a lot, and now she loves herself. That's good. It's good to love yourself at the end of the day. It really is. So that's good of Jane. So Tasha said to Paul, what does the future hold for us? So Paul said he has a gift, and man pulled out a box. Everybody at the table, even myself, thinking, oh, has he bought her an engagement ring? Is he going to ask her to marry her for true? He's got an engagement ring. And he was like to everybody, no, hold off. Don't get ahead of yourself. So he's saying that he wants to commit to Tasha for the rest of her life. They're always talking about moving to Manchester. So basically, it was a house key ring for him to make that commitment, for them to move in together. And I was like, I would have preferred the fucking ring than a fucking house key ring, for fuck's sake. Yes, it's cute, but bloody hell. Even if you had bought the house in both our names and stuck a key on the fucking key ring and give it me, that would have been good. But you know what? Paul's heart was in a good place when he did that. It was an absolutely good place. So he was just saying that he's very much committed now for them to find their place and move in Manchester. Adrienne said her fave moments is a friendship with Erica. Jordan sniggers and they pull him up about it basically. And this is why I say this man don't want Erica to have no friends outside of him. Like, he really doesn't want Erica to have no friends outside of him. So Jay spoke up and told him what for, basically. And Roz turns around and she goes, I don't know why everyone's screaming at Jordan. And then everybody starts having a go at Roz as to why everybody's screaming at Jordan. And then Thomas did his school teacher bit. That man was right. Stop it. Bang. On the table. Hand banging on the table. Everybody was like, the fuck? Looked at him and then literally bust out laughing. And I thought at least it brought the group together in regards to Thomas bringing out his headmaster bit, because that was fucking funny as hell. That really was funny. We're closed and it comes to an end, and they go outside and literally do an exercise in terms of writing their dreams or whatever, what have you, on a piece of paper and then throwing it into the fire pit. And that's what they did, and that's how it ended. It wasn't really like, you know, any major fireworks. It's just as it is. And now we can call a close to this season of Married at First Sight UK, and I can get on to Married at First Sight Australia. But before I go, as I always say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos, and I'll be back on your screen very, very soon. Peace out.